just in. If you accidentally backed your car into your neighbor's living room, you would probably step out of the vehicle and apologize. You certainly wouldn't stand in the rubble, cross your arms, and complain that your neighbor isn't showing enough gratitude for your innovative new parking strategy. But according to a highly entertaining new report by Joe Wilkins at Futurism, that is the exact emotional state of the Silicon Valley elite right now. Tech billionaires have spent the last few years aggressively shoving artificial intelligence into every corner of our lives. It has actively destroyed trust online, flooded our search results with generic garbage, and threatened the livelihood of millions of knowledge workers. And now, the executives responsible for this digital chaos are genuinely, profoundly hurt that the public is not throwing them a parade. We love to imagine that the people running the global economy possess an unmatched level of strategic genius. But as consumer sentiment turns incredibly sour, these executives are publicly throwing a corporate temper tantrum. Before you try to automate your own customer service departments, we need to look at why the general public absolutely despises this technology and how you can capitalize on Silicon Valley's massive public relations disaster. By the way, if you're new here, I'm Vicky Sidler, a StoryBrand certified guide and duct tape marketing strategist from the Strategic Marketing Tribe. I help small business owners like you build failure-proof marketing by focusing on the exact 20% of effort that drives 80% of the results. Also, your marketing stops feeling like a miserable second job you never asked for. I believe your absolute greatest competitive advantage is simply sounding undeniably human. Because, let's be honest, if the general public actively hates artificial intelligence, why are you using it to write your marketing emails? Your prospects can instantly smell the robotic jargon, and it's destroying your credibility. So download my 5-minute marketing fix to spot exactly where your messaging sounds dangerously artificial so you can replace it with actual human connection. Okay, now with all of that out of the way, why are the billionaires literally crying? When you spend billions of dollars building a machine designed to make human employees obsolete, you should probably expect a slightly chilly reception at the company picnic. But the architects of the AI bubble are absolutely baffled by the pushback. In a recent interview, NVIDIA chief executive Jensen Huang publicly complained about the battle of AI narratives, stating that the public backlash is, frankly, extremely hurtful. Aww. He actually insisted that his incredibly profitable technology is suffering unfair damage from people pushing a science fiction doomer narrative. He is not alone in his emotional distress. OpenAI CEO Sam Altman recently lamented the pushback against the absorption of AI in broader society, whining that public adoption feels surprisingly slow. These incredibly wealthy executives are sitting on top of the most aggressive technological rollout of our lifetime, and they are genuinely pouting because regular humans do not want to be replaced by software. They are utterly convinced that the only reason you don't love their hallucinating chatbots is because you've been reading too many dystopian novels. But historians are pointing out a much more embarrassing reality. Apparently, this is the most hated tech boom in history. If you invent the bicycle, people are generally thrilled that they no longer have to walk to work in the mud. But artificial intelligence is experiencing a fundamentally different reaction. William Quinn, co-founder of Boom and Bust, a global history of financial bubbles, told the New York Times that he cannot remember a technological boom with such active hostility attached to it. When electricity and motor cars were introduced, there was natural fear, but it was heavily outweighed by massive public hope. As Quinn notes, AI is entirely unique for its complete and total lack of enthusiasm. The public does not view this technology as a helpful tool. They view it as a hostile corporate takeover. A 2025 Pew Research survey proved that the aversion runs incredibly deep. A massive 60% of respondents stated that they want more control over how AI is used in their lives, while a pathetic 17% feel comfortable with this technology remaining in the hands of a few tech billionaires. If the public hates it this much, how is the industry making any money? And what do the actual sales numbers reveal? You can force a feature into a software update, but you cannot force a consumer to open their wallet. While mainstream analysts spent all of 2025 parroting uncritical tech hype, the actual consumer data tells a completely different story. By mid-2025, before investor sentiment finally turned freezing cold, the number of US AI users who regularly paid for the privilege of using these tools stood at a laughable 3%. Let that sink in. Despite the relentless media coverage, the aggressive corporate integration, and the billions of dollars spent on marketing, 97% of the market looked at the premium version of this technology and simply walked away. When your target market completely refuses to buy your product, you cannot just blame science fiction writers for your failure. You have to take a hard look at the terrible product you are actually selling. So how do you sell to a market that hates robots? If 97% of your potential customers refuse to pay for artificial intelligence, you have to completely stop sounding like one. The tech billionaires are desperately trying to convince you that AI is the future of human connection. But the public has already spoken. They do not want to read hallucinated blog posts. They do not want to receive hollow AI-generated emails. And they absolutely refuse to argue with automated customer service bots that cannot solve simple problems. The Fortune 500 is completely distracted, pouring billions of dollars into technology their own customers actively despise. This is your ultimate strategic advantage as a small business owner. You must loudly and proudly offer the exact opposite. You have to sell undeniable premium human competence. But you cannot do that if your website is secretly filled with the exact same robotic jargon the billionaires are trying to force on us. So get my 5-minute marketing fix. It acts as a rapid diagnostic weapon, helping you strip the generic, highly unpopular AI language out of your funnels so you can attract clients who are desperate for actual human expertise. Stop losing sales. Download the fix now. You can get it for free in the description below, or you can go to strategicmarketingtribe.com/fix. But what about you? Do you love or hate AI? I'll go first. I use AI regularly in my work to handle small tasks, but there have been a lot of instances, such as in our video editing, where we scrapped the AI because it was so unreliable. Also, I absolutely hate how AI is just in everything now, even where it has no place being. Okay, your turn. How do you feel about AI? Let me know in the comments. I'm Vicky Sidler from the Strategic Marketing Tribe, and I post helpful news updates for small businesses every day.